I've said that like 10 times. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikki, and today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the 3 questions that I receive the most about my weight loss journey. This has all been a personal experience for me. Everything that I talk to you guys about, all the tips I give, it's all based on my personal weight loss journey. Everybody's is gonna be different. Maybe you can apply these to your lifestyle and they'll work, maybe they won't. You have to really test out what works for you and see what's sustainable with your lifestyle. So I just wanna start out saying that first, because these are all based off of my personal experiences and what has helped me to lose 70 pounds. So if you enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And let's go ahead and get started with the first question, which is probably the most asked question that I receive, and that is about loose skin. Constantly I'm getting asked what I did to prevent loose skin, or do I have loose skin, or what can you do to get rid of loose skin? And this is something that before I started my weight loss journey, I was so nervous about. I had done a ton of reading about it. I was so scared. It was almost a good thing because it was like I was so committed to it. Like I was thinking like I'm gonna have loose skin now because I'm actually committing to this journey. So like it was actually like a genuine fear I had, but it was kind of good because it really helped me commit to my journey in a way. I don't know if that really makes sense. But anyway, so when you lose a lot of weight quickly, it is extremely common to have loose skin, and not just in your stomach. A lot of times you see people like showing their skin in their stomach that's loose. It's not always that. I honestly have really bad loose skin in my arms. I have some in my back. My legs aren't too bad, but my stomach also has loose skin. So it's not avoidable. Like you are going to probably have loose skin if you're losing a lot of weight in a short amount of time. I lost 70 pounds in 10 months. So it was pretty much inevitable, but I'm doing things to hopefully improve it. And I really have noticed a difference. I really do think these things have helped. So one thing that I do is that I drink collagen pretty much every day. I don't have a protein coffee every day, but when I do, I put a scoop of collagen in it. And I just buy my collagen from Sam's Club. And I had just done research before I started my weight loss journey that collagen was something that could really help with skin health. And so I figured, why not give it a try? Honestly, investing in collagen, which I think it was like $40 for the tub, was something that just committed me more to my journey, because I was like, okay, if I'm gonna be spending this money on this, I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna use it for the reason it's for. So I gotta lose weight. I gotta, you know what I mean? It was just like an extra motivating thing that I did. So having the collagen, I really do think it improved the health of my skin. And like I said, I don't have collagen every day, but every day that I have a coffee, which is almost every day, I guess, I'm putting a scoop of collagen in, and I just really think that that's helped. And then this awesome dry brush that my friend Shelly gave me, and I'd never used one before. I've heard of them, but I don't know, it just really helps to exfoliate your skin. So you just use it dry on your skin, and I use it on my stomach, I use it on my arms, I use it on my legs, and mainly it's like exfoliating. It's getting rid of like dead skin. I just overall think that like focusing on the health of my skin has helped. So taking 5 minutes of my day to dry brush has just tremendously made a difference. Okay, and then this is something that I've done more recently, and I've talked about how I started lifting weights, and I think that that has helped so much with tightening up my skin. I think just overall toning up my muscles has really helped to improve the overall like tightness of my skin, and really just help make it look a little smoother. Like I said, I still have the loose skin. I'm still working on it, but honestly, since I've started lifting weights, I've noticed that my loose skin under my arms is so much less. And so it comes with losing the weight. I've still continued to lose some weight, but really in the past like couple months, I've only lost 10 pounds. It was more in the beginning where I was losing weight quickly, and that's when the skin was loose. And so I've just really focused on exfoliating and moisturizing and lifting weights to tone up my body. So there's a few different things that you can do. If you don't want to invest in collagen, it's not going to cure your loose skin. All these things are just different ways to help improve your skin that could technically improve the loose skin. So that's all I've really done. Every time someone asks me about my loose skin, that's what I say. I do have it, but I'm also doing things to improve it. So it's nothing to feel bad about. Honestly, I was able to do this, and it's almost like a trophy in a way. The next question that I'm constantly getting asked is how I stay consistent on the weekends. And there's 2 ways I want to talk about this. And one is like the social aspect. So technically, we don't really go out much. We are not going to bars, especially during COVID. We don't really leave the house. But anyway, it is hard to lose weight when you're constantly around drinking and unhealthy snacks and socializing. socializing is always based around alcohol and food. And so it is hard to lose weight when you're always around that. But there are ways to kind of work with that and to make that lifestyle possible. Again, Adam and I aren't huge fans of like going out. So with our lifestyle, it isn't really something we've needed to work on as much. However, another aspect of like staying consistent on the weekends is that people have a hard time. They're working all week. Sometimes the structure actually helps them to stay on track with their eating habits. And then it gets to the weekend and they're just like, I just want to snack. I just want to drink. I just want to do this. So that's kind of the other aspect I want to talk about. But back to like the social aspect, what we would do if we knew we were going somewhere where there's going to be like more unhealthy food options that maybe are higher point, we make sure that we eat throughout the day. Until we are going to this event or whatever, we are eating. We are filling up on healthy foods. I'm having my protein coffee in the morning with a fiber 1 bar and banana. We're having a big wrap for lunch. We are making sure that we fill up so that we are not as tempted, because think about when you go to the store and you're hungry, you want to buy everything. So if we're going to this party and we are hungry, we're going to want to eat everything. And it's just so much easier when you feel full and content when you already get there that you don't even need to like worry about the food in a way. That's how I think of it. And honestly, that's what's helped me in those circumstances. What I like to do is I like to make sure that I'm not eating a lot of like bloating foods. So I try to stay away from like even like vegetables that make me bloat up, or even like an apple, stuff like that. Certain foods make my stomach bloat up. If you're going to be going out and getting dressed up, you don't want to feel that way before. So I make sure that the foods I'm filling up on during the day are not really like bloating foods, but also I make sure that I drink my greens, because that helps me stay feeling better and not feeling so bloated, which is another way to like stay on track over the weekend, I think. Okay, so when it comes to drinking alcohol, this is also another problem that people struggle with on the weekends. I have definitely drawn back on my drinking. If anything, I probably drink once a week now. And when I do, I'm drinking very low point options. I'm drinking straight rum with water with like a little shot of Mio in it, or I'm having White Claws, even like light beers. Just like I try to find lighter drink options so that I'm not filling up on like sugary. Like before, I'd drink a lot of margaritas, which I'll still have a margarita. I'm not saying I restrict anything, but I'd rather find like the light Jose Cuervo margaritas that I like, the light peach ones or something like that, rather than like the sugary 1800 margarita I would drink previously. Just kind of adjusting your alcohol choices really helps. I'm not saying you can't drink on the weekends. I think that it's important, if drinking alcohol is something that you want to incorporate in your lifestyle, it's important to incorporate it now while you're trying to make these changes to lose weight. So there's no point in restricting yourself from it if when you finish this technical weight loss journey, you still want to drink alcohol. You're gonna have to incorporate it back in your life. Like, I don't think that's worth it. I think you need to make it sustainable with your lifestyle and make it like reasonable. It's all about balance and it's all about things in moderation. So you can still have your alcohol, just don't overdo it and really be conscious of what you are drinking. And then along those lines, when you drink, you snack. What we try to do is Adam and I try to like fill up on whatever healthy snack options we can. A lot of times after we drink, we'll just come home and then we'll want a snack. We'll want like Taco Bell or something, which sometimes we'll get Taco Bell. But I always make sure that we have healthy snacks ready. So I always make sure there's like something that's not like even like buffalo chicken dip is not like super healthy, but it's also a healthier option than if we were making like a bunch of fried food. So it's like having something ready that I know I'm gonna want to eat that isn't technically like healthy, but it's not unhealthy, like fried, greasy, super high points, if that makes sense. So we're trying to find like healthier snacks to fill up on when we get back from drinking or after we've been like having our weekend off. So that has helped us a lot too. Now, when it comes to like not the party side of it and just being consistent on the weekend and not having the structure, that is something that people deal with, and it is hard because you feel like you worked hard all week and now you got to the weekend, you just want to relax and kind of let go, which is totally fine and that's totally good. You just need to have it in moderation. And a lot of times people feel that they like blow their weekends and then on Monday they're screwed starting up again. And you don't want to do this. You want to make sure that it's just about sustainability and balance. So yes, enjoy the weekends. If you want to splurge on the weekends, go right ahead. Have that treat that you want. But again, it's all about balance. Make sure you're still tracking. I, through my whole journey, have consistently tracked on the weekends. I know some people don't like to do that. It becomes too like restrictive for them. For me personally, that is what made such a difference in my weight loss journey, is staying consistent every single day, regardless of a weekday or a weekend. It helped me so much. Overall, I just think to stay consistent on the weekends, the most important thing is to remember that it's all about balance, to not get hard on yourself when you want to have a treat. Again, don't be afraid to treat yourself. Just track it and just be aware and don't have that mentality like, oh shoot, I just messed up by drinking this much or eating this much. Now I'm screwed. I'm just going to keep eating this much and drinking this much. You can't have that, because that is where you will have a downfall. You just have to stay consistent. Overall, I just think the most important thing with staying consistent on the weekends is filling up during the day. Get up and have a filling breakfast to start off your day. I really think that that helped a ton. And then just having protein-filled snacks throughout the day so that you're not starving at the end of the night and wanting to like splurge on these unhealthy foods. Overall, it's about moderation. It's about enjoying yourself and making it sustainable. Do not take the weekends and make them some restrictive thing, because that's not going to help you. Because even if you lose the weight now, when you get back to your technical, normal, not weight loss journey, you're not going to be able to just go back to eating these unhealthy things and have it be fine. You're going to gain the weight. So you have to incorporate them in a way that there's balance and moderation and it works for you. The last question that I get asked the most is, how am I not hungry all the time? Or when did I start to get to the point where I didn't feel hungry all the time when I started my weight loss journey? And the answer to this, I promise you, like, I do not feel the same hunger like I used to. I do not. When we would start a diet, like, it felt like restriction. It felt like we were starving ourselves and we were just eating lettuce and chicken breast. And it just felt like we were hungry all the time. And I hated it. And that was the one thing that I said, this isn't going to work for me if I feel hungry all the time. I hate feeling hungry like that. And so in the past, it never worked for me because I was hungry and then I was miserable. And then I would just binge on these foods that were putting me deeper in this hole that I was trying to get out of. And so what I'm trying to say is that I'm not hungry all the time. From the start, the most important thing that I said was that I do not want to feel restricted. I do not want to feel hungry all the time. And that's why I chose the WW program. And that is why this has worked so well for me, because I'm not hungry all the time like I used to be. I fill up on 0 point foods like no other. And 0 point foods still have calories. They're still going to make you gain weight. So you have to be careful. But what I do is I like to base each meal or snack off a 0 point food first. So like for dinner, say I know we're going to have 0 point ground turkey. I base it off that. Or for a snack, I always start with an apple or 2 hard-boiled eggs, and then I add on to it. So I always am starting with a 0 point food, and that helps me fill up so much more. Eat 0 point foods. They are there for a reason, and I'm talking specifically to the Blue Plan because that's what I have experience with. That's what has worked for me, the 0 point foods on the Blue Plan. I love to fill up on eggs. I love to fill up on Greek yogurt, ground turkey, ground chicken. Anything that is 0 smart points has helped me so much to just like get my protein in and actually make my meals like fulfilling. And that's something really important to me, is that I'm not hungry all the time. And that's one thing that I do to avoid that. The other thing is, I think a lot of times people think weeklies are meant for like what would be considered like a bad food, which there's not. I'm just saying like cake or like a fast food meal. You think that like that's what your weeklies are for, which they are. But a lot of times I'm using my weeklies to fill up on like very healthy foods. So although they may not be the lowest point, I use my weeklies for nuts. I use my weeklies for chips when I want chips, or like crackers. I use it pretty much when I'm done for the day, or I know that I'm going to go over my points for the day and I just still want more healthy snacks. I fill up on all the healthy snacks I talk about all the time, or a protein bar. I'm reaching for that more so to use my weeklies rather than a fast food meal, because 70 points in a McDonald's meal is not nearly as satisfying as 70 points in Bare Bell bars and Skinny Pop. Like, I like to fill up on the foods that are lower point, but then I can have more of them as my weeklies, if that makes sense. So I don't know. A lot of times people, I feel like, think weeklies are just for like splurging on a meal, like one cheat meal or something. But I like to space my weeklies out and use them as foods to fill me up. And that is why I have stayed full the whole time. If I get hungry, I eat. And that is one thing too, that before when we would try dieting, like we would just sit there and feel hungry, but no, we can't eat. We're already going to be over our calories for the day. Like we're not allowed to eat more. So it was miserable and that was not sustainable. Another thing that I do is that I constantly am drinking water. And so many times when I like feel hungry, I realize that I am dehydrated and I just need water. So what I'll do is when I start to feel hungry or before a meal, I just chug 1 glass of water. So before every single meal, I'll just pour 1 12-ounce glass of water, drink it, and then I eat my meal. And it fills you up so much, but in a good way, because I need to have my water at the same time. So it helps me to be full for the meal. I'm still able to eat the meal, but it just is a little bit extra on my stomach. And then I also drink water with the meal. And that's the same way with like a lot of times I'll I'll like feel like I want a snack. Even if I just like finish a meal, I'll drink a water first, wait a few minutes, and if I still feel hungry, I'll eat. But if I don't, I realize I just needed water. So that's something that's really helped me a lot. And it's something that actually I really have a hard time with, because for some reason, like drinking water is just does not come easy to me unless I'm like so thirsty. I can chug a water when I'm like dying of thirst, but when I don't want water and I know I need to drink it, I have to kind of choke it down sometimes. And I know a lot of people are like that. So it's something to work on, but it is something that has made a tremendous difference in my weight loss journey. And then one other thing that I want to mention with how I don't always feel hungry all the time, and that is my portion sizes with meals. And before, I was eating massive portion sizes that were just not healthy for me. And so that's been a really hard thing mentally to work on. But what I do is I make sure that I have the correct portion size when I'm eating a meal. What I'm tracking, it is exactly that. I am sticking to that portion size. I take my food, I sit down, I eat it. And if I'm still hungry after, I go back and get more, or I go have another snack. I do not make myself feel like because I ate my meal, I can't eat anything else. But that is why I make sure to stick to that portion size, because a majority of the time that portion size is enough. And so if I'm filling up and putting a bunch more, I'm ending up just eating it because it's in front of me, and then it's too much. So what I do is I have the proper portion size, and then I eat more if I'm still hungry. I go back for more. You can't be afraid to go back for more. I track the points if I go back for more, but I do it. If I'm hungry, I eat. That is just something that I think makes it so hard for people to lose weight, is that you feel hungry, you feel restricted all the time, and it doesn't have to be that way. And so if you can just find a way that works for you, find low point snacks that you like, that you can use those for your weeklies, and find 0 point foods that you like. Again, I say it's like fruit and veggies and eggs and stuff, but you can make eggs so many different ways. I like to make them hard boiled and then mash them up into like an egg salad. I like to have them over easy with like an English muffin. There's so many different ways that you can have these 0 point foods and kind of like dress them up. You can roast the veggies in the air fryer versus in the oven. It makes two different like tastes and textures. And so I don't know, it's just really important to kind of mix things up and fill up on healthier, nutrient dense foods instead of like, and I'm not saying you can't have the other foods, but what I did is I used those for my weeklies, and that's what helped me stay full the majority of the time. And like I said, I hate feeling hungry. That is the most important thing when I started this weight loss journey, is that I did not want to feel hungry all the time. It's just taken me a while to kind of figure out how to make it work for me and how to not feel hungry all the time. And with WW, that has helped me so much. I kind of got to a point where I realized like, no, that candy bar really isn't worth the 5 smart points, because it's not going to make me feel better. It's not going to make me full. And so with WW, you kind of learn to like prioritize what actually is worth it for how you're going to feel. So much of this journey has been how I feel. I'm paying attention to what things make me feel a certain way. So if it's not worth it for me to eat a chocolate bar, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to have an apple and pretzels instead, if that's going to be more filling for me. So I don't know. That's just what's worked for me on my journey. Like I said, everyone's different. Things are going to work differently for people, but this is what worked for me. So I hope you guys found some helpful information in this video. If you have any other questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below, and maybe I can answer those in another video, or any questions going off anything I mentioned today. I'd love to hear it. So thanks so much for watching. Please go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.